Hello. This week, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into something that we talked about last week. We talked about the Listeners Trilogy last week, as well as like all the different projects we're involved in and currently working on and have worked on. But I briefly mentioned this book, which is called Decoding the Listeners Trilogy, A Listener's Guide. And from briefly mentioning that, I got a couple people hitting me up asking me what this book was about and why they didn't have it. So this is a book that you were supposed to get if you got the Fourth Wall double album, but some people for some reason missed it or something. I don't know. Either way, I'm including it this week in the mail out and in the link below in the description of this video, so that everyone can have it, whether you have the Fourth Wall or not. Whether you have any albums from the Listeners Trilogy, from Soliloquist of Sound or not, you can have this book. And this book, really quick, is just exactly what it's called. It's a listener's guide. It's something that I wrote over the span of the 10 years that we were putting out the Listeners Trilogy, which is Soliloquist of Sounds, As If We Existed, No More Heroes, and the double album of The Fourth Wall. And this book is just packed with every little bit of information that explains the choices we made behind everything we did during the releasing of these albums. I mean, there's a lot involved that some people never even knew about. There's a lot of graphs and charts in here that were borrowed from the world of theater that influenced the way that we put these albums out. And, you know, Soliloquist being, you know, kind of like a concept from theater, we released the whole trilogy like a 3-act play, and it describes every act of the play, that we call the Listeners Trilogy. But it also describes the reasons behind the numbers we used in song titles or in lyrics or in the artwork. There's a lot of things hidden in the artwork throughout all 3 albums. It discusses our motivation behind every single choice, including Tanya Combs's role in the group and why she doesn't take the form of like a traditional musician. It's so much stuff that I really want to share with everyone, and I'd love if you guys check it out. It's a lot to read, but actually it's not. It's just a little 24-page book. It's really small, as you can see. It's actually not a lot to read, but it was a lot to write. It did take a long time to put it together. Like I said, it took about a decade for us to do this, and a lot of the stuff that's in here we didn't tell anybody about until the last piece of the puzzle was put out. So it was really cool for us to make this project and kind of create this whole world that we wanted to include people in. So again, download the book if you're interested, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear any type of reactions from people if there's stuff that they suspected was behind things, or stuff that was completely new to them. I'd love to hear that type of thing, because like I said, we spent so much energy and time putting this thing together. I'd love to hear your feedback on it. And yeah, I guess that's it. I will include the link for the download of the PDF of this book. And as always, love to hear back from you guys, and talk to you soon.